All right, what is up, my brothers? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about this, I guess it's a Reddit post somebody sent over to me, and the title of it says, "My dying wife asked me if it would be okay if she had sex with her ex one last time." So I'm just going to read this. It's not too long, and then we'll hit the road and talk a little bit about what this post means and what's going on here between the two of them. Dude says, I can't believe I'm reading this. Okay, so he goes on here in his question. My wife has a terminal disease. She is projected to live at most 9 months. I'm of course destroyed. We've been together for a decade. I don't remember life without her, and I don't know what I'm going to do when she's gone. I've been doing my best to make the last days of her life good and grant whatever wish I can. The doctor said she's likely to need a wheelchair in 4 or 5 months. Then by month 8, she'll be bedridden for the last few weeks. That's if she doesn't decline faster. Wonder what the disease is. Recently, she sat me down and told me that one of the last things she wanted to do was have sex with a previous partner of hers. Could you imagine being a dude listening to this shit? I, of course, was shocked. Yeah, no kidding. And when I asked why the fuck she wants that, so basically she thinks that her most physically compatible, satisfying lover was him. She gave a whole monologue about how sex sometimes is just physical and how emotionally fulfilling sex is with me, but it was bullshit to get to that point. So now I'm left with this. Deny my dying wife a wish for my own ego, or let her go fuck another man who she feels was better. Honestly, I'm so pissed off and betrayed that she asked this of me. I feel like I'm in a position where I have to say yes because she's dying. I know what I want to say, but I don't know if that's right. I'm so hurt that sex with an ex was apparently so good that she needs to do it once before she dies. I just hate everything about this. Wow. Yeah, that's messed up. I don't know how many guys have had to deal with that. But I can tell you what's going on in the dynamic there. I mean, some of you guys that have followed my channel for a while and have read my book are already going to start writing in the comments, Rich, that's an alpha widow. And you would be right. So what's going on here? Dude's been married for 10 years to this chick, and she wants to go to Pound Town with some guy that she used to date because he was apparently more satisfying and better than our friend here writing this Reddit post. I swear to God, I could almost start a new YouTube channel and call it Reddit Ridiculousness or Reddit, I don't know, something else. Anyway, but I see this stuff pop up often, you know, in my messages or DMs. Sometimes it comes from locals, sometimes it comes from outside of that, whatever. So what's going on here is this chick's been alpha widowed, and what that means is, and this happens to a lot of women, by the way, this is not that uncommon. It's actually more common than uncommon. So if you're married, if you're dating somebody for a prolonged period of time, generally speaking, women by a certain age, usually their epiphany phase, late 20s, around 30, will have to make some sort of concession, and you know, I'm just gonna put it this way in quotations: settle. There was, I can't remember if it was Chris Tucker or Chris Rock, one of the stand-ups. They were talking about the #1 reason why women are pissed off at their men, and the punchline of the joke is because you're not her first choice. And then of course the crowd erupts in laughter, everybody's having a big chuckle at it, and then the camera pans around at the faces of these couples, and you see the guys are kind of like looking over, and she's nodding her head a little bit or looking at her girlfriend and like, yeah, that's true. It's the truth, and that's really what an alpha widow is. It's a woman that is essentially pining for a guy from her past who she felt ticked off that alpha F box, the alpha seed box, basically. He's usually the bigger, stronger, more strapping, more physically dominant, might be a little more gifted in the Johnson area, if you know what I'm saying, and you know, took her for pretty much everything that she was worth, and she pines for the guy for many years down the road. Many women have had prior thoughts of exes that they were with at one time who they gave up for any number of reasons. Usually, for the most part, they typically end up either getting dumped by them and they're unable to win them back, and the guy just basically lets her go and she's alpha-witted from that. Or it could be a guy that she tried to lock down and settle down with, and she was unable to get him to commit or get him to basically stay with her or be monogamous. Any number of things. Usually these higher value sort of alpha guys don't generally stick with just one woman because they've got a lot more options. So it's quite rare for them to just, like, you know, settle down, unless they're kind of like a lot more plugged in to societal conditions and they subscribe to things like the soulmate myth and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's that's got to be an awkward position to be in. I'm curious, what do you guys think of this guy's question? Would you let your dying wife's wish of 10 years, he says, he didn't mention anything about kids, but your dying wife's wish of 10 years go and slam some other guy that she dated 15, 20 years prior before she dies? Like, think about that for a sec. You're basically cucking yourself. You know, the definition of a cuckold is essentially that. And what guy would reduce himself to that? I don't know. Personally, if it was me, I'd be like, get lost, you know, that's enough, get the hell out of here. But I understand, you know, the dynamic that's going on there. It's again, it's not that uncommon. Women will pine for guys from their past. I've had, I mean, in the last probably 5 to 10 years, I've had pretty much all my exes that I've been in a long-term with at some point in the past message me. 2 of them were married on a long-term basis, 2 guys that they had children with, and they were basically flirting with me and talking, you know, trying to lean into areas that would lead to more promiscuous behavior, you know, flirtatious things that would turn into something. But yeah, these women have no shame, like literally zero freaking shame at all. And it's very common, guys. It's very, very common. So it's one of the reasons why I always tell guys that, you know, if you're going to settle down with a chick, if you're going to make somebody the mother of your kids, if you're going to do something so risky like get married and put your net worth on the line that basically anybody could mess with, then do it with a woman that chooses you first. Make sure you do it with a woman that you've essentially alpha-widowed, that she sees you as her best hypergamous option. She never pines for any other guys. She doesn't talk to any other guys. She doesn't keep guys around as friends. She doesn't hang out with exes or any of that nonsense. It's just straight up, she's into you and only into you, and it's obvious. Chapter 3 of my book, The Unplugged Alpha, you can get it on Amazon. It's also pinned below in the top comment, covers this dynamic of what's called genuine burning desire. And most guys will never get their wives or girlfriends' genuine burning desire. They usually end up being the second choice, you know, the second pick. So it's extremely important, if you want to have the best experience possible with women, while limiting any exposure to getting divorced, raped, losing half your shit, having her take the kids and you never get to see them again, all that good stuff. It's extremely important that you only choose to spend time with women on a long-term basis that see you as their best. Never, ever, ever be any chick's second choice, ever. Otherwise, you may be answering a question like this one day, and trust me, you ain't gonna like it. I mean, you know, there's a little part of my heart that breaks for this guy, but at the same time, if he was red pill aware, like if he was fully, properly unplugged, he would have not wifed up a woman of 10 years that didn't see him as her best option. She obviously saw him as her second best option, or third, or the guy that she settled for. He was just good enough, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, just be careful with that. Where am I going now? I'm heading up to Blue Mountain to do some skiing. I'm meeting up with a couple of guys from my community, and we're gonna chop it up and have some fun. So yeah, leave a comment below, hit the like button, and if you want to grab any of the stuff that I talked about in the video, like my book, learn more about my community, or any other important links, they're pinned below in the top comment. See you guys later. Peace out.